My name is Bobby Kornhauser. I'm the father of a 37-year-old recovering addict. That means that the addict is on a long journey to self-sufficiency and health and happiness in their life, and trying to overcome demons that ever brought them to the point of using whatever they used. It's a parallel to the addict's recovery. In our estimation, my wife and myself, we realized our recovery was more important for us than our son's was. If we couldn't recover, he couldn't certainly not recover either. We were certainly at odds with each other in how we approached our son's addiction. I cut him off completely, emotionally, physically, psychologically. I think we have to hit rock bottom as parents before we can start recovering ourselves. We have to realize that we are powerless to help our loved ones with their recovery, with their addiction problems. So once we accept the fact that we have no control over what they do with their lives, especially if they're young adults, then that's when we can move on. And once we move on, I think they realize that they were no longer able to call us and say, I need this, I need that, and they're on their own. So it positively impacts their decision to get sober or clean. But it's their choice, not ours. There's a stigma attached to having a child or a spouse that's an addict or an alcoholic, and no one wants to admit that publicly. So it takes a lot to get to the point you're willing to say out loud, I have a problem. As a parent, I have a problem. And once you make that statement, I think it's easier to start your own recovery. You can start reaching out to people you know. We've had phone calls from other people say, our friend has a problem. Would you mind talking to them? But it's up to the friend to call us. We can't reach out to them. They need to do it themselves. It's like an addict has to reach out. They have to start their own recovery process. But once you start, I think you have to stay the path, and it's invaluable. And in my case, I had no desire to go to the Willing Way meetings with my wife. Zero. I said, I'll go with you just to placate you. And I did, and you couldn't drag me out of there now. I have to go. It's critical to my own sanity, my own self-preservation. To say it was challenging would be an understatement, in all candor. We were not on the same page at all. We saw our son in a different light. I did not carry our son for 9 months. I didn't give birth to him. I was the father. I still am the father. There's a different attachment between the mother and the child than there is with the father and the child. So it was easy for me to give up on him. Or not give up, but set him loose, if you will. It's tougher for the mother. Once she realized that she was not doing any favors by helping him out, then we came back together again. And we've been on the same page ever since. It's probably been 3 years plus. And our son's recognized the difference in her attitude toward him, and was very appreciative of the fact that she said to him, good help, you need help, I can't help you anymore. It took a long time for her to get to that point in her life. But she's much happier now, we're much happier together, so it's been a long challenging path. Well, for almost 15 years I had no relationship because I couldn't deal with him, nor could he deal with us. He was too involved in himself and his, where to get his next fix. Getting thrown out of school, getting thrown out of recovery places, getting thrown out of halfway houses. So I had nothing to talk to him about. Now that he's been clean and sober, we have a very wonderful, loving father-son relationship. I can't wait to talk to him, and vice versa. He's very candid with me, I'm very candid with him. We talk like a father and son should, like I'd always hoped we could do. So it's been a long path of recovery for both of us. You can only hope and pray that the recovery path, they stay on that recovery path. Because every day is another challenge. And it's one foot in front of the next for day in and day out for the rest of your life. So when you get to the point you stop worrying about the next phone call being the one that says your son has died, your son's back in the ICU, that fades away over time. And you get back to living a more normal life, what you perceive as a normal life. But in the back of your mind, you know that it's always there. It could always happen again. But you hope they've established a foundation for their new life that keeps them on the right track. I think that our recovery has been very instrumental in his recovery, without a doubt. Well, he saw us taking care of ourselves. We were taking care of ourselves, not worrying about him. He said, oh my goodness, I got to take care of myself now. I can't count on my mother for doing anything for me. Addiction is not just, it doesn't affect just the individual. It doesn't affect just the parents or the spouse. It affects everybody in the immediate family. It affects sisters, brothers-in-law, nieces, nephews. It's a disease that just gobbles everybody up and makes mincemeat out of everybody in the process. So once you can start the recovery as the addict, then you start seeing the ripple effect. It takes years for the relationship with the sister to get repaired, the brother or brother-in-law, whatever it is. But it does happen in time. And it's such a reward to see the change in people's relationships and perspectives on how to live a healthy life. It makes me very happy.